The man who always stayed loyal to the family is now standing in handcuffs. Blood is on the ground, police lights are everywhere, and one question is destroying the streets. Did Lou really shoot Rack? What if this was not just a family fight? What if someone planned this whole thing from the start? Season 5 of Raising Kanan could begin with the biggest betrayal we have ever seen. And by the end of this episode, nothing inside the Thomas family may ever be the same again. The episode opens in complete chaos. Loud sirens fill the streets, while people run in every direction after hearing gunshots outside the building. The camera quickly moves through the crowd before stopping on Rake lying on the ground, badly hurt. While blood spreads across the pavement, her eyes are still open, but she can barely move. Everyone watching is shocked because Rack was always the one in control. She was the strongest person in the room every single time. But now, for the first time, she looks weak and helpless. A few feet away from her stands Lou, frozen in fear, holding the gun while police officers scream at him to drop the weapon. His hands shake badly because even he cannot believe what just happened. In only a few seconds, his entire life falls apart. Police officers rush toward Lou and throw him against the car before placing him in handcuffs. The people nearby start shouting that Lou shot his own sister. Some are scared while others look excited because they know this moment will change the streets forever. Lou keeps trying to speak, but the officers do not listen to him. He looks back at Rack while she is being placed into the ambulance, and his face is filled with pain and regret. Deep inside, it feels like he already knows there is no coming back from this moment. The camera then cuts to Kanan, who hears the news from one of his friends. At first, he refuses to believe it. Lou and Rack had problems for a long time, but Kanan never thought things would go this far. His face changes immediately as fear and anger take over his mind. Without saying a word, he jumps into the car and speeds through the city trying to reach the crime scene. As Kanan drives through the streets, memories of his family begin hitting him hard. He remembers the arguments, the secrets, and all the tension building inside the family for months. Every problem that people ignored is now exploding at once. Meanwhile, Marvin hears about the shooting too, and unlike Kanan, he instantly believes Lou could have done it. Marvin knows Lou has been mentally broken for a long time. The pressure, guilt, and pain inside him have slowly been destroying him. Marvin starts worrying that the family is finally collapsing from the inside. Jukebox reacts differently. She stays quiet after hearing the news because something about the story does not feel right to her. She starts wondering if Lou is being blamed for something bigger than anyone understands. Back at the crime scene, detectives begin searching for answers while reporters gather nearby. One detective notices that Lou never tried to run away after the shooting. Another officer says the gun was still in his hand when they arrived. But then, a witness quietly tells police there may have been another person nearby moments before the gunshots happened. That single detail changes everything. Suddenly, this no longer looks like a simple shooting. It starts feeling like a setup. The episode ends with Lou sitting alone inside the police car while flashing lights cover his face. He looks completely broken as tears slowly fall from his eyes. Then he whispers just 4 chilling words. I didn't mean this. Lou sits inside the dark interrogation room while rain hits the windows outside the police station. His hands are still shaking, and the silence in the room feels heavier than the handcuffs around his wrists. The detectives place pictures of the crime scene on the table and keep asking the same question again and again. Did you shoot Rack? Lou lowers his head and says nothing. His mind is completely broken. Every bad choice he ever made feels like it has finally caught up to him. One detective leans closer and tells Lou that witnesses already placed him at the scene with the gun in his hand. Another detective says Rack may not survive. The moment Lou hears those words, his eyes fill with fear. For the first time, he realizes this is no longer just family business. This is life or death. The story then moves back a few hours before the shooting happened. Lou is shown sitting alone inside the studio, drinking heavily while music plays softly in the background. The room feels empty, just like his life. Ever since he tried leaving the street life behind, nothing has gone right for him. His relationship with Rack became colder every day. She kept treating him like a weak little brother instead of an equal partner. Lou wanted respect, but all he ever got was pressure. The flashback shows a heated argument between Lou and Rack earlier that same night. Rack accuses Lou of making careless decisions that hurt the business. Lou fires back, saying Rack controls everybody and destroys anyone who stops obeying her. Their words cut deeper than bullets. Years of anger finally explode between them. Rack tells Lou he has become dangerous because he cannot control his emotions anymore. Lou then says something that shocks even her. He tells Rack that maybe the family would be better without her running everything. The room goes silent after those words. For a moment, it almost feels like Rack sees a completely different side of her brother. But before the fight can get worse, Lou storms out of the room. The flashback ends there, leaving viewers wondering if that argument pushed him over the edge later that night. Back in the present, Kanan arrives at the hospital hoping to see Rack, but security blocks him from entering. Doctors rush through the hallway while Marvin stands nearby looking stressed and angry. Kanan demands answers, but Marvin refuses to speak clearly. He only says that Lou finally lost control. Kanan cannot accept that answer because something about the whole situation feels strange. Lou may have been angry, but shooting Rack in public makes no sense to him. Kanan begins thinking somebody else could have used the family tension to start a war from the shadows. At the same time, Jukebox starts asking questions around the neighborhood. She talks to people who were near the shooting and quickly notices their stories do not fully match. One witness claims he saw Lou yelling at Rack before the gunshots. Another says he heard 2 different guns being fired. Jukebox immediately realizes police may be missing important details. She secretly visits the crime scene after everyone leaves and notices something hidden near the sidewalk. A single shell casing placed far away from where Lou was standing. Her expression changes instantly because this evidence could mean another shooter was there that night. The section ends with detectives entering the interrogation room once again. This time, they place a new photograph in front of Lou. The picture shows a blurry figure standing in the shadows near the shooting scene just seconds before the attack happened. One detective looks directly at Lou and asks, "Who is this?" Lou stares at the image in complete shock because he recognizes the person immediately. But before he answers, the screen cuts to black. The screen opens with Lou staring at the blurry photo sitting on the table in front of him. His breathing becomes heavier the longer he looks at it. The detectives keep pushing him for answers, but Lou stays silent. Deep down, he knows exactly who the figure might be, and that truth could destroy everything. One detective slams his hand on the table and tells Lou this is his last chance to help himself. But Lou slowly leans back in the chair and whispers that the streets are much bigger than the police understand. The detectives exchange worried looks because they can tell this case is becoming more dangerous than a normal family shooting. Meanwhile, Kanan walks through the neighborhood trying to figure out who benefits from Rack getting attacked. The streets already feel different. People are talking in small groups, dealers are nervous, and rumors are spreading faster than the truth. Some believe Lou finally snapped after years of pressure. Others think somebody used the family drama to take down Rack while blaming Lou for it. Kanan begins realizing that no matter what the truth is, the Thomas family now looks weak in front of everybody. And in their world, weakness is an invitation for enemies to attack. Back at the hospital, Marvin sits alone outside Rack's room. His face is filled with stress because for once he does not know how to fix the situation. Doctors still have not given clear answers about Rack's condition. Marvin blames Lou for everything, but part of him also feels guilty. He remembers all the times the family ignored Lou's pain and pushed him deeper into darkness. Marvin starts wondering if they created this monster themselves. Then a nurse walks out and quietly tells Marvin that Rack briefly woke up for a few seconds. Marvin quickly asks if she said anything. The nurse pauses before answering one shocking word, "Kanan." That moment changes everything for Marvin. He immediately realizes Rack's first thought was not revenge or fear. She wanted to see her son. Marvin quickly calls Kanan and tells him to come to the hospital immediately. But before Kanan arrives, another problem appears. 2 detectives enter the hospital hallway asking to speak with Marvin. They reveal that they found fingerprints on a second shell casing recovered near the shooting scene. Marvin's face changes instantly because he knows what that means. There really was another shooter. At the same time, Jukebox continues secretly investigating on her own. She tracks down a man who is selling items near the street during the shooting. At first, the man refuses to speak because he fears getting involved with the Thomas family, but after some pressure, he finally admits he saw a black car speeding away seconds after the gunshots. He also says somebody inside the car was watching Rack long before Lou arrived. Jukebox now becomes certain this attack was planned in advance. Lou may have been at the scene, but somebody else was controlling the situation from behind the curtain. The tension grows even more when Kanan finally reaches the hospital. Before he can enter Rack's room, detectives stop him and start asking questions about Lou. Kanan becomes angry and tells them Lou would never try killing his own sister. One detective then reveals they are looking into possible enemies connected to Rack's business. Kanan suddenly realizes the danger is much bigger than his family alone. If rivals discover Rack is weak and Lou is arrested, a full street war could begin at any moment. The section ends with a powerful twist. Inside the interrogation room, Lou finally decides to speak. He slowly looks up at the detectives and says the blurry figure in the photo is someone connected to Rack's past. One detective asks for the name. Lou hesitates for a second before quietly saying it. The detectives instantly look shocked after hearing it. Then the camera cuts away before viewers hear the actual name, leaving the mystery hanging as the screen fades to black.